in. All right, we are live, everybody. Johnny, go ahead and take it away. Welcome everyone to the show.
Welcome to Power Your Story podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Henderson, and today's topic we're talking about childhood.
All right, Kira, start us out.
So, when I was younger, uh, my younger sibling and I had a nanny named Jacqueline, and Jacqueline was really great. We were so sad when she moved to New York with her girlfriend, but she didn't believe that like parts should be like locked up. Like she believed like yeah, kids should be allowed to play in it. And so Jacqueline would hoist baby me over the fence and I would unlock it from the inside. And I have a vivid memory of opening one of those that was a padlock without the key. I don't know how I did that. I don't know how to pick a lock. Baby me sure as heck didn't. One time we got locked out of the house and she just pushed me through the, like, opened up the window, put me inside, and I unlocked it.
Oh my, babyhood
Her mom gave
thieves
me a dog toy once.
to play with, not for your dog.
No, I don't have a dog. She was like, here's a toy for you. And Jacqueline was like, this is a dog toy. Why are you giving this to the child? It was a cute toy, though. I still have it somewhere.
Who else has a funny recollection or a funny story from childhood?
I can go. So on both, I should just start off. I have like a lot of like funny memories because I have a big family. But one of my like favorite memories was when I was like little, I used to like steal I used to steal my mom's friends like stuff and like be like, "Oh, look, I have your keys." And everyone would be like, "How did she get that?" So one time my mom's friend came over. They were having like fun, and I took his keys, his car keys, and I hid them in my dollhouse, and I completely forgot about it. And so then they're looking everywhere for the keys, asking like, "Where is it? Where is it?" So then I was like, "Oh yeah." Had it in my dollhouse, and to that day, nobody trusts me with anything of their belongings. They always have to like kind of pat me down, make sure I don't have anything of theirs. So, yeah.
Johnny, you said you did that before when you were 4. What did you do when you were 4? Which one?
I had took my auntie's keys and then hid them somewhere, and she kept looking like trying to find her keys. Like where's they? I just act like I ain't know, but in the whole time I hid it in my toys.
So we have a childhood lockpick, a childhood thief. Kira?
When I was younger and my friends would come over, I have a very distinct memory of one of my best friends, Riley. Um, we were having a play date at my house, and it was time for Riley to leave, and her mom showed up. And so I got Riley and I shoved her into my closet, which was full of stuffed animals, so she wasn't hurt. But I just kind of shoved her in there and just kind of with my body held the door closed. Um, I was Riley was like, Kira, how is this gonna work out? I was like, in the night I can just like sneak and feed you marshmallows through the cracks in the door. It's fine. Eventually, Riley did go home. My mom was like, you can't kidnap Riley. But yeah, I did. I believe this happened multiple times with different people. I would just like kind of shove them into somewhere and be like, don't move and don't make a sound. And they would just go along with it. They supported this.
That that sounds kidnapperish.
Childhood kidnappers. Anybody else have a funny story to share from childhood? Khalees, what do you have for us?
When I was little, I used to like jump on the stairs like every other step, and there was a needle sticking out from one of the steps. and my shoelace was untied. So as soon as I was finna jump on it, I tumbled over each step. And when I was on the floor, my grandma came in. She was looking, she's like, Khalees, Lily, are you okay? And then I started laughing for some reason. She said, it was very embarrassing. Very tragic. But I'm okay though. Years later, I'm fine.
You made it out alive and in one piece. Any other funny childhood stories?
I have one.
Alex.
Okay, mine. It's funny now that I'm older, but basically I was a hard-headed toddler. I was like 5 or 4, and my mom, we moved like things out the way, but my mom kept saying, "Stop trying to do cartwheels in the living room. Stop trying to do cartwheels in the living room." I was hard-headed and did not listen. So I proceeded to do cartwheels in the living room and went smack head down into a glass table and ended up getting staples in the back of my head.
Glass?
It was like, yeah, it was a glass table. It was like 4 staples in the back of my head. And for the longest time, it was like this little black circle in the back of my head from the injury. It's funny now that I think about it, because that should have been my lesson to not be hard-headed, but I still am.
I thought you meant hard-headed like you had a thick skull, like you could hit your head a bunch of times and you wouldn't get injured. That's much worse than what I was thinking.
No, it was called I did not listen. Luckily, the table didn't break, but I did hit it very hard.
Great, now I'm scarred. Thanks for that.
No, I think Alex is the one who's scarred.
I'm more scarred by hearing this. I feel it. I can sense where you're coming from because I can feel that happening. I can feel it.
I was a very clumsy child growing up.
Can I get a volunteer in the live stream to read the question coming in from Jordan?
I'll do it. Jordan says, how can you guys remember all of your stories like you could hit your head?
My
How
mom
do you
told me
guys
mine.
remember your stories from childhood?
I don't. My mom told me mine.
It's a combination of people telling me the stories over and over again and my very selective memory where I cannot tell you what I had for lunch yesterday, but I can tell you in preschool there was this girl who stole my gummies and I am still mad about it. I don't remember her name, don't remember her face, but she stole my gummies and I am pissed.
Anyone else have a response to Jordan's question?
I think, like, for me, the way how I remember is either, like, what Kira said, you remember, like, or have people, like, tell you, or the memory was so memorable, or it was so traumatizing, or it was so embarrassing and funny to where, like, it's just in your brain for, like, the rest of your life, no matter what happens.
Also, there's associations. I don't know, the more other people tell stories about themselves, then it kind of brings a memory into your head because you relate.
It's like the core memories and Inside Out.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, yeah, because I have way more stories because I was a clumsy child and very accident prone. I never broken a bone, surprisingly, but very clumsy.
Any childhood stories from Elijah, Tess, Edgar, or Leo before we move on to the next topic? Elijah.
While we're on the topic of painful stories, see, I was also a clumsy child. So what happened was I was getting ready for bed. I was about to turn my fan on, and I was on my knees while trying to like turn it on, and then I lost my balance and my 2 hands went into the fan. When I tell you my fingers were almost like bleeding, they were bleeding. I was crying. They hurt so. They hurt so bad. I had to go wake up my mom to tell her what happened. Like, mom, and it's like, and then times have passed. It's like basically like the cut skin right in the middle, broken. It's like blood coming out of there. Oof. I still remember that to this day. That hurt so bad.
That reminds me, when I was 2, I got my toes stuck in a vent. I was fine. I was
How?
bleeding everywhere, but I was laughing.
How?
There was this like vent near the floor, next to my mom and dad's bed, and I would just kind of sit in the area between the bed and the wall, and apparently like little baby me got my toes stuck in there, and I was just kind of started bleeding a bunch. I was fine. There's no scarring or whatever. But I believe this was also one of the first times my mom was like out and it was just me and my dad. So my dad was freaking out and I was just giggling like a maniac because I was young and I didn't understand what was happening. And I still don't know what's happening ever.
Leo said these stories are scary. I also have one. This can be the last one, but I forgot what day it was. This was back in like 4th or 3rd grade, and it was Halloween night because I remember we went out that same morning to go to school, but it was like super dark outside. My mom was trying to rush me out the stairs, and I, at the time, did one step at a time. I just recently learned how to walk down the stairs normally. But she was rushing me, so instead of letting me do it one step at a time, she was rushing me too much, and I missed the step and went to another one, so one of my foot kind of sprained and went almost 360 on me. It went like halfway, and I remember that one because it hurted like crazy.
Who can remember what one of our other topics for today was? Favorite what? Kira.
Childhood toy. And
Favorite childhood toy.
yeah, I have something to say for that because I still have it in my room. Not in my room currently, but it's this little blue toy monkey that I, as a little child, lovingly named Boo because I didn't know how to say blue. It was like a hotel gift shop, and my mom bought it for me because I loved it. And I was obsessed with that toy, and I still am. I literally cannot sleep without it. I'm 16, and yeah. But my mom bought like multiples of it in case something ever happened to Boo. Nothing ever did, actually. Boo is still fine and in my bedroom, kind of beaten up, but I've had him for like 14 years. My grandma actually makes clothes for him sometimes. So he has like a shirt with a Pokeball on it from when I was like 10. And yeah, that's childhood toy that I have.
Leo, are you going to have us have a mystery here, or are you going to enlighten us?
I will lightning. Let me just get the toy.
Oh, oh, we're gonna get a visual. Who else has a favorite childhood toy? Wait, Leo, you got it already?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Delicious.
Who said delicious?
You can survive off of that stuff. It has no nutritional value, but it won't poison you.
What?
It's way too soft.
Okay.
Yes, Yes, I have tasted Play-Doh.
Did anyone have Webkins or play that website?
Yes.
I had a panda bear named Tumbles that my sister got for me. I still have him. It's great, but if anybody doesn't know, there's this collection of stuffed animals that you can play as a character in this game on this website called Webkins. You have your little house that you can make and decorate, and then mini games to play. It's very fun.
I can go next. So my childhood stuffed animal, I actually still have it. It's my Build-A-Bear. It was my first time ever going to Build-A-Bear, and I remember me, my mom, and my brother taking the 66 bus from my house and going to Navy Pier when Navy Pier still actually had the store of Build-A-Bear. Rest in peace to that store. But yeah, I had like an obsession with naming my stuffed animals Fuzzy Boo. So, that's no longer the name because I refuse to call it that, but I sleep with that thing like every I sleep with that thing like every night.
All right, last call. Any other favorite childhood toys? Elijah.
Usually, I would still have these and I would show, but since I grew up, I think once I hit 13, I had to give them away. But my favorite childhood toy, don't look at me like that. But when I had to give them away, it was Thomas the Tank Engine. I always loved Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas was my life growing up. I always get all his toys, all Wooden Railway, all Trackmaster. I bought all of his DVDs. I watched all his shows on Netflix. When it was time for me to grow up, I had to give them away. I retired off of it. Usually I would still have at least one to remember, but I gave that all away. You'll always stay with me.
It looks like Kira has something to say about Thomas.
Have you seen the book where Thomas the Tank Engine, one of the other tank engines, he was like being rude or whatever, so like the humans were like going to trap him behind a brick wall to be stuck there forever?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Duke. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Mwah. And also, since Thomas is still still a memory in my heart, since I have a baby brother on the way, I'm gonna get him hooked on that. So I'm gonna start from all the way from scratch to get him caught up on things.
Khalees, favorite childhood toy?
It was like a Nintendo DS. That was my favorite. I always grew up on it.
I think we need to know what everyone's favorite game was on this system, since there are some fans.
Mine was Mario.
Pokemon Omega Ruby, my first Pokemon game, my first Pokemon. I got myself a toy of my first Pokemon because of how much I loved that game.
My favorite DS game was the Superhero Squad. Is a Marvel old school game. The Superhero Squad is it's like all Marvel heroes, but they're like mini and like meant for kids. So I'm like, yep, this is my game.
Edgar, go ahead.
Okay, my favorite game was Sonic. I was gonna say something. Okay, my favorite game was Sonic Rush, and it's been a blast to speed run through those stages.
Awesome. Any other favorite video games from childhood for anyone?
What game did you say, Edgar?
Sonic Rush. I even still have. Wait, I still even have the cartridge though.
But do you have the game system to play the cartridge on?
Well, technically it's a 3DS, but it has backwards compatibility, so yeah.
All right.
For Nintendo DS, mine was also Mario. But as childhood, my favorite was, honestly, because obviously this has been around since years, was I had that like giant ammo thing. And as I think back on it, the thing was creepy looking. But it was like a giant ammo tool that was almost taller than me. And it had no batteries in it, but that's what made it creepy because they took the batteries out because it sounded weird.
Wait, I just want to know because I put it in the chat. Did anybody have American Girl dolls?
I have one next to me. 1 second.
I was like obsessed with them, and like I remember in second grade, because my dad lives in Wisconsin, so he would come and visit me and like pick me up from school. I used to tell everybody at school, "Oh yeah, my dad's gonna take me to the American Girl store. I'm gonna go get a new American Girl doll and everything." Never went to that store a day in my life until like 3rd grade, and I had like a bad obsession. I gave my dolls to my grandma's friend because those dolls are too terrifying, so I could not keep them. But that's like 500, probably like $1,000 I spent on 4 American Girl dolls. Like, they were my children. I was the mother at that point.
My grandfather used to work at American Girl Dolls, so he got some of these. I don't know if they make this one anymore, but this is the Ivy doll. And so I have her, and I actually just gave away a bunch of my clothes for it to my younger cousin, but I still have this one because this is my doll, and no one can take her from me. This is mine. They made diabetes stuff for them, actually.
So Johnny had a comment in the chat that takes us into our final topic for today. Would anyone like to read for those who will be listening to the audio-only version later? What is our final topic, Tess?
Favorite childhood shows. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
please,
sorry.
go
I
ahead.
wasn't sure if
I grew up on Disney Channel, so it had to be Hannah Montana. Yeah.
You don't sound very proud of that, Khalees. You said, yeah.
Because usually kids start on Sesame Street, but I start on Hannah Montana, Yo Gabba Gabba, or That's So Raven.
Yo Gabba Gabba was my jam, so was Fresh Beat Band. My father was more into Yo Gabba Gabba than me. He has, like, merch of Muno. I had, like, so much stuff from Yo Gabba Gabba. Was obsessed with Fresh Beat Band. Then, as I got older, I got more into, like, Wild Kratts and the Electric Company, which was a good one. Elijah's losing his mind.
No, so fun fact, my dad, I was so obsessed with Yo Gabba Gabba that my dad was like, you know what, why not go to a live show of it? So I went to the live show. I bawled my eyes out because it was just too much. Because I was kind of in the back, but I was still front and center, so I witnessed all of it. Bawling my eyes out. We had to leave. My dad.
That's what happened to my younger sibling. Like, they had exact scenario.
It was terrifying for a 3-year-old to just witness that when you're normally witnessing it on television. But yeah, that was traumatic, and I always remember that till God knows how long. But another one of my favorites growing up was SpongeBob. And fun fact, I could not pronounce SpongeBob when I was little, so I used to say Bobbus. And yeah.
I got one.
Johnny, what was your favorite show growing up?
I like the iCarly, Victorious. I like the Jesse, Austin Alley, and Casey Undercover. And I also like Game Shakers, Henry Danger. And sitcoms too. So I grew up on Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. Yeah.
All right, who else? Favorite TV shows? Elijah, go for it.
If I had to pick one for the greatest of all time, it would have to be The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, man, those brothers are absolutely hilarious. I love everyone on that show, specifically The Sweet Life, because the Sweet Life on Deck, it was funny at first, it was all right, but the one in the hotel, that will always be the original, that will always be the classic for me. I love The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Oof.
Leo, do you want to share your fun fact with those listening to the audio version later at home?
Yeah, so what I said was that that SpongeBob's real name is Sponge Robert.
It sounds so serious when you put it like that.
Minnie Mouse's real name is Minerva.
I got another one. I like the 16 Wishes on Disney Channel.
That explains. Knowing Minnie Mouse's name is Minerva explains why I'm such a Harry Potter fan now, because I love the forgot which one character's name after that.
Minerva McGonagall?
There we go. Her. Because I love Minnie Mouse growing up, now I love Harry Potter. So
I was a big Blue's Clues kid. Not sure about anyone. Oh, what a show. So good.
All right, last call before Leo wraps this up for us. Any other comments about childhood that we need to get off our chest during this
Yeah.
open mic? Johnny.
I was basically a Carly fan. I used to watch it every day and all day. And I liked the movie 16 Wishes on Disney Channel.
Nice, thank you. Any other
I
last
was a
thoughts?
Littlest Pet Shop kid. I actually never watched like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, iCarly, Victorious, none of that. Just like I don't know. I've had the chance to like actually watch it now, but I just haven't. But yeah, I was a Littlest Pet Shop kid and
same.
stuff like that. And Dinosaur Train.
Yes, my mom loves Dinosaur Train.
Every time someone says something that Elijah knows, he just loses his mind. It's amazing to witness.
Yeah, because I grew up with these. My childhood. I agree with y'all so much. I love Dinosaur Train.
Am I the only that still remember the theme song to it? Like, I remember the
To
theme
which
song
one?
lyric to lyric.
To what?
Dinosaur Train.
It's been
Yeah, I remember it a little bit. I remember it just going Dinosaur Train. And that there was the T-Rex that was adopted by the pterodactyls, and there was the Velociraptor conductor. And I also think they time traveled at some points. Like Magic School Bus.
I got the episode.
All right, Leo, do you want to share your other theory and then close us out?
So what my fact or theory, which I don't know if it's true or not, is that Walt Disney himself was afraid of mouses.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, Leo, do you want to do our closing for us?
This was Power Your Story podcast. Close Mic Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.